Never seen this. That's the whole. No, start the whole damn show, bro. No. Oh, that's the whole intro? What kind of show are we running? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Monster Bass Live. We're off to a really great start today. We got the guys from Burly Fishing on the show. We got some golden tickets. As always, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Liquid Death, who forgot to send me my water, and so now I'm drinking lime-flavored sparkling water. Now, if I was 14 years old, this might be exciting, but I really don't like flavored water, and I certainly don't like bubbly water, but it still, keeps me hydrated, so I'll keep drinking it if they keep sending it. It's been an interesting week. We're prepping for the rod delivery, and I don't know if you've ever seen what 1,000 rod tubes look like, but they have to custom make pallets. So they take basically 2x4s. They take two pallets, push them together, and then screw them into the pallet. So it's a double pallet, and they can only stack so many rod tubes on the pallets because it's pretty big. And I started with 1,000, but I quickly realized I needed more because I already sold the first 1,000 rods, and so now I'm battling with my warehouse, like where I'm going to put all these things, because I would like to order another 10,000 rods, and they don't have room for my rod tubes. So it's been really interesting, and so I had to go pick up 10 of them and put them in my car. My dog was looking at me like, "What is wrong with me?" And I had to drive back from Pico Rivera. Never been to Pico Rivera, never want to go back, but that's where I went this week and got some rod tubes, so it was pretty interesting. What else has been going on this week? Oh, I spent way too much time this morning. And Gramps reminded me very nicely that I spent way too much time this morning listening to somebody, giving too much weight to their opinion. I should have just let it go, but I couldn't. I did a really good job, though. I kept it PG. I didn't drop any F-bombs. But, it is what it is. What else are we going to talk about? So we're going to talk a little bit about fishing today. We got some golden tickets. We might even talk about some frogs. It's another attempt at a frog. This is, I'm not going to show it, so maybe I'll show it later. But this is my latest prototype, and I got it in a bunch of different colors and shapes. I don't know. I've never been able to bring a frog to market. This is my fourth attempt, and I just never know what to do. So these I'm going to send out with the rods. I'm going to send these out with the rods and see what everyone thinks. I don't know. I put like little things on it, like, I don't know if you can see this. Conrad, can you zoom in on that or focus? No? Nope. All right. I'm not meant to work with frogs, so whatever. Let's see. We got a lot of good people in the chat today. Westfall Outdoors. You were not right about the mistake on the box. There's a mistake on the new box. And it's so obvious. And, of course, the moment I got the comps, I saw it. I was like, oh, we made a mistake. What else? We need the Hellraiser. We're not going to get the Hellraiser probably until the second half of next year. It's too popular right now, and they don't have enough inventory. So we will get it. But we're not going to get it till the second half of the year. Let's see what else we got. Who was the troll, Marty? Marty. I'll leave that to somebody else. I gave this guy way too much of my time today. I mean, I even looked at the analytics. 98% of this guy's posts, and he's posted over 100 times. 98% of them have had a negative sentiment. So I was just like, all right, what am I doing? Just let it go. Just let it go. So, all right, Monster Bass family, it's good to see you guys. Really excited to kick this show off. Got a great lineup for you over the course of the next few months too. I confirmed. What did I confirm? Mike McClelland. I confirmed. Who else did I confirm? Luke. Yeah, I confirmed Luke Palmer. I confirmed Mike McClelland. I'm finalizing KVD. And let's see, Gramps is going to be on November 3rd. We got some good guests. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for all your patience with the October. It was a frustrating month. You know, the boxes. I never thought in a million years I'd ever hear someone call me and tell me that the boxes were all stuck together because they put them on the pallets too soon after they printed them, so they all stuck together and pulled. So what a disaster. But we're back. Everything's shipping as normal. Shouldn't happen again, so my apologies. But we do seem to be shitting the bed a lot. And especially with our next guests, we can't seem to spell their names. We sent out an email today. We spelled his name wrong. You'll notice these guys are going to come on. They don't have name tags because we can't spell it. Normally, I'd yell at Fix, but he's not even here. He's not even here to defend himself. So I feel like I got to let it go. So what I did was I called Shield Outdoors, and I asked Brad to go hunt Fix down and take him out. So that's probably the last we're going to see of Fix. Thank God we got a rock star here in Conrad, and he'll make sure we're good to go. So let's open the phone lines. Oh, my God, we already got a phone call. I'm going to make you wait from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm going to make you wait. Let's get the guys on the show. Who's running the chat? Marty Lawson? Nobody. Nobody today. I could get on there right now if you'd like, or you could just take over and type in all caps all day. You run the chat, and you're in charge. How about we do that? Is John at Cast of Nasty Bait? Hey, what's going on? All right, bags. Are the bags coming back? Guys, I would love to get the bags back, but all right, there's something called on my P&L, something called cost of goods sold, and I only have a certain amount of money for my cost of goods sold, and if I spend more than that, we don't make any money. We don't make any money. I don't keep the lights on. And right now, they want $1.25 per bag. Now, put it into perspective. Those little bait bags, I used to get them shipped here for 43 cents. That's about the price of a box. If I spend an extra $1 on those bait bags, that's $1 less that I can spend on the baits. And I don't think you guys want that. So I got to find either another material or another something to make these baits with. And again, the problem is there was a factory over in Germany that makes a lot of the chemical that's used in this material, and it's driving up the prices. And can't use PVC because PVC cracks in cold weather. So it's got to be something different like EVA or another compound. So we're working to try and find another something that's cost affordable. Because again, I love, you guys know it, I love the bait bags. I felt like it was so good and easy and something great for you guys to use. So so Marty Lawson, you are in charge of the chat tonight. I'm going to welcome these guys in. Send them in a Flambeau box. I could do that. I could actually send them in a Monster Bass 3700. I'd have to charge you a little extra because obviously those things cost a little bit more too, and the cost to ship it. But I mean, if I said I could give you guys one of those for like, I don't know, $7 extra, and that included shipping, would you do it? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, all right, Marty, the party's getting this thing started. Let's not waste any time. Conrad, you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready to do this? Yeah. All right. Let's, you guys should know them by now. If you don't, I don't know where you've been. They got a new podcast. Actually, it's a relaunch of their podcast, and I think it's something that definitely is going to appeal to a much wider audience. And but you don't want to hear about it from me. You want to hear about it from them. So let's welcome Jeff and Paul. And if I got to spell his name for my team that's not here, I will. But what's going on, guys?
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Fantastic. We're good, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, don't worry about it. Nobody can spell my name. Never has been able to.
I can. It's not that hard.
Now.
No, it's not that hard. And to see it happen not once but twice in one day was really like, you got to be kidding me. Like first I get a text from you that like we spelled your name wrong in an email.
Right.
And then I get online and I'm sitting here and I get another text from you and it's like, yeah, you spelled our name wrong again. I'm like, what is wrong with my team?
We get the Burly thing with the EY, the Burly EY always.
Yeah, I can see that. So how are you guys doing? You guys launched your new podcast.
Yep.
And it's a completely different format than what you were doing before. And how's that going?
I mean, I think really well. We're 5 episodes deep, Paul? Yeah, 5
Just
episodes
dropped number
deep.
5. Well, 5 drops tomorrow.
Yeah. So basically what we're doing is called Aggressively Average Angler. And we have defined ourselves as aggressively average anglers all the time. I know we got a lot of pros come on the MB show, which is absolutely great. And because we are not pros, we're not going to stand here on the platform and be like, hey, we know everything about everything and we're going to teach you from our own mouths and our own brains. Instead, we want to either do the research and talk about what we've learned there or bring on experts in specific areas. And like the whole point is just to expose all of us to different ways of fishing. So we had the saltwater guys on last night from Salty Scales, and these guys are crushing it. They got a charter business. They have a huge apparel business. But it was cool to see the crossover between like saltwater, freshwater baits. And then we've got Bass Geek coming on next week. He's probably going to talk about like the Demiki rig or some other obscure things that you're not fishing that you should be fishing. And if you know nothing about it, then you go do it. And the cool thing is it like pairs up with the MB box really well because we're often getting baits in the MB box where it's like, oh, I've never thrown this before. A lot of guys haven't thrown like the cane thumper that came in this month's box. Like, what do I do with like this 4-inch swim bait, this paddle tail that I've never used before? You know, and we get stuff like that all the time. Or if you've never fished a frog, you're just holding a frog.
Yeah.
We get somebody on the show that really knows a lot about frog fishing. They're going to get you the tips that you need to land your first frog fish. So It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
And when does the show air?
Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on our channel. So love to see you guys there. We go live too. It's a ton of fun. And then we post it anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you want to catch up, that's available too. Just go check it out.
Nice. All right. Couple questions for you guys before we get started.
Yeah.
Crappie or crappie?
Crappie.
Fact.
Rapala or
it depends.
Rapala?
Am I drinking Bud lattes at the fire? Because then I guess it's crappy. It depends.
Rapala is not a thing.
Rapala. So if you're on the ice, if you got a solo stove on the ice and you're drinking Bud lattes, that's when it's crappy and it's Rapalas. Throw in the Rapalas to catch the crappies.
All right. And if I'm at the grocery store, you know, I'm getting ready to go fishing for the day, and I want to pick up some cheese curds, or you want to pick up some cheese curds. Are we picking up plain? Are we picking up? I just had some dill pickle ones last week for the first time. Didn't love it so much. What kind of cheese curds are we getting?
I think Paul knows the answer to this one. There's only one answer, right, Paul?
Yeah, it's going to be the garlic. However, the hottest one available is obviously an accompaniment to the garlic.
I think the combo when we went to fish the St. Lawrence with you guys was the buffalo and the garlic, right? They had a buffalo one, and then every time we hit that gas station for like Chef's 3 days straight, it was just bags and bags of cheese curds.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. Like if you took something super hot, right, like a habanero or something like that, and combined it with the dairy from the cheese curd, it'd probably be really like. I wonder how long it would stay hot for. You probably get all the flavor of the hot, but yeah, that's interesting.
It's exquisite, is what it is.
It's exquisite. What, before we go much farther, this guy's waiting 12 minutes to talk to you guys. Should we take a call?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Go ahead, caller. Where are you from? Wow, that good, huh?
Tight.
Hello?
12 minutes. He fell asleep. All right.
Oh my God.
My name's Patrick Daniels.
Hey guys, hang on 1 second.
Okay.
It's my son. He's 6 years old, but he wanted to ask you guys a question about Swimbait.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah, just make sure you turn down the volume.
What's the best one bait?
Turn down the volume on your computer.
I heard what's the best swim bait?
Swim bait for
Okay, go ahead. You're good.
what's the best one bait for Georgia?
For Georgia? Oh,
Mm.
man. Hitting us with tough ones. We're from Michigan. So I guess it depends. Are you talking like a soft swim bait, a hard swim bait, like big, small, paddle tail? What are you thinking? I think Paul's grabbing some.
So
some
I'll take
demonstrations.
this over for him. So
Sure.
obviously we're in fall turnover here. He's getting into the winter fishing now, right? So everything, we're kind of in that lull. But he's obsessed with swim bait fishing, right? And so he's been asking me, right, what do I do now? I want to swim bait fish. We're all ponds. We're kayak fishermen. So he wants to know, okay, what do I throw, right? And he can use a bait caster, so he's not on a spinning rod. But yeah, right? So it's like, okay, you know, where does he go from now, right? Maybe a little bit slower moving, right? Is it a paddle tail? I don't know. So he wanted to hear from you guys. I appreciate it. We're going to go on mute.
Love it. That's such a great question. I'll throw one out there. I know Paul grabbed some stuff he wants to show off. You cannot go wrong at this time of year with like a baby Kitech with like a little 3 to 4 inch paddle tail. And you can be super simple and just throw it on a ball head jig, or you can put it on like a swim jig, which is totally fine too. Like it'll have the tapered head. Maybe it looks kind of fishy. It doesn't even have to be that natural. Like they're pretty hungry right now, especially where you're at, because they're feeding up. I can throw a 7 to 9 inch glide bait swim bait and get catches right now, which surprised the heck out of me in Michigan. I was baffled, blown away by that. So you guys definitely could do that. You could throw some big stuff. I just picked up a mega bass mag draft that I'm going to go throw around this weekend. So you could go big, but if you want to catch like a lot of fish, I guarantee you, especially pond fishing, 3 inch Kitech on a ball head jig, you're going to catch literally every single fish. And just go white. If you want to be safe, just go with the white. You'll be happy.
Yeah. So
Paul, what do you got?
We were talking with our 2 captains, saltwater scales, and they do a lot of pond fishing and a lot of big lake fishing for bass when they're not guiding for saltwater fish. And we were talking about how is this crossing over helping you, right? Like what is helping you when you're out, you know, as a saltwater captain, when you're guiding and doing all this, you know, all this fishing for fun and for, you know, all your fishing on the salt. How is that translating to you bass fishing? And one of the things that we talked about was understanding how effective live baiting is, and then how does that in salt, and then how does that translate to like traditional bass fishing where you're using exclusively artificials. And they said a lot of folks like to get really caught up in the latest color, the newest colors. I need my chartreuse and all this other stuff, and they're like, just go natural. So understanding what they're feeding on, where you are, especially, you know, if winter in Georgia is anything like, you know, early fall in Michigan, which I'm going to kind of equate the two, that water's starting to clear up as long as there's no rain. So it's still going to be more clear than when it is, you know, in the summer and in the spring. And so you're starting to see slightly more clear water. You're starting to see fish that are hungry. Just like Jeff said, that mag draft, like upsizing, now is actually the time to upsize because those fish are willing to take a gamble on a bigger meal because they are trying to chunk up. So I would say upsize a little bit. Jeff's talking about the baby Kitech. I think you could go a little bit bigger, up to that 6 inch. The Kitech's wonderful, but also I think these diesel minnows, what you just got in the October Monster Bass box, these are an awesome option, especially if you find that they're not shallow. Like if you're seeing fish that are a little bit deeper, you can go ahead and this is a one like this bait is like tailor made, not only as a trailer because it's a great trailer, but something like a free rig. And a free rig you can fish at any depth. You can throw a 3/4 ounce on 3/4 ounce on it, go all the way to the bottom, or an 1/8 ounce and fish shallow. So I think go natural. You know, if you guys have shad, go for that shad pattern. Sexy shad's certainly a great option, or just white and silver. And I don't think you're going to have a problem catching fish. And I do think it's okay to upsize like Jeff's talking about.
And I mean, keeping it simple, like don't overcomplicate it. Like just throw it on a jig head. Like our go-to year round is actually our buddy Ethan Duvetter's stuff from Mule Fishing. So it's like a Lastec type material, and he has a paddle tail that's what is it, 3.5 inch?
2.8 for the larger size.
2.8. It's called the donkey tail, and we just throw that on a like what you would call like a Ned jig, right? Mushroom headed jig, and we just fish those all year round. And Paul's caught some PB smallmouth on those
on a 332 ounce.
Hashtag it works.
Yep. So yeah, you can never go wrong. But I do think as the water cools down, go ahead and feel free to upsize.
Yeah, have fun with that because you're gonna catch something giant. Just keep casting, you'll get something awesome.
You still there, buddy?
He said he was going on mute.
All right, well, let's go off mute.
He's going to tie on some jigs.
He's literally going
right now. He's like, all right, cool.
Right
I'm gonna hit the water immediately.
That's it. He's already gone.
Awesome.
Little butt.
Bye.
I think he hung up. All right.
Well.
All right. Well, little buddy,
DM
me. I'd love to hook you up with a little T-shirt, and so you can rep monster bass when you're out swimming or when you're out fishing the pond. So.
Heck yeah.
Let's. Wow, we got some more calls. Before we take this guy's call, because I mean he's called in 46 times.
Oh boy.
It's not who you're thinking.
Oh, okay.
He's at least 20 minutes away. It's got to be so. But we're talking about rods, or I was talking about rods earlier, and I'm going to ship you guys each a rod. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for in a finesse rod.
Ooh, yeah. Because that's the one I asked for from you was the 7-foot medium light model. And yeah, for me, I mean, in a kayak, I've gotten over it. It's nice to have like a shorter butt section of the rod so that you can actually like sit and fish effectively. I can survive. Yeah. That bottom section of the rod. If that's shorter, that's ideal for kayak.
7 inches, 6 to 7
It's not
inches.
a big deal, obviously, from the bank, from a boat. Like none of those guys really care about it. If it's longer, I survive. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Okay,
yeah.
so 7
right
inches from here to where?
To where you grip, right underneath the bottom, where the bottom of your hand would hit.
To the reel seat. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
right
to
there.
the reel seat.
Up
Got
to
it.
the reel seat. Yeah. Because like imagine you're sitting in a kayak, and a lot of guys will have like sit down only or sit inside kayaks. Like that's the majority. We can stand up on ours. They're very well balanced, but when we're sitting, especially on like a windy day, because basically you become a sailboat and the wind says you're going to this side of the lake. Bye. With a shorter butt section of the rod, then you can sit and fish, and like you can actually finesse them a lot more easily versus just like hitting your leg every time you're just trying to like pop the rod. So I would say like that's one of them. The second one would be like, yeah, it's a lighter rod. I want to make sure that it's got enough guides and that they're good guides, good, smooth guides. So I want to be able to have smooth casting without any friction against the line. So like I'm throwing light baits. If it's hanging up on the guides or, the line feed is not smooth, then I'm not getting those long casts. I'm not getting accurate casts. And that's problematic when you're finessing.
How many guides you
I
want?
would say, what's that?
8
How
to
many
10.
guides?
Yeah, 8 to 10, like Paul said. More
For a
the
7
better.
for a 7 to a 7-1, something like that.
Yeah. It just, again, how many do we have, Rick?
10.
10. Well, there you go. Perfect. That's
That's
fantastic.
what you. That's what you'll. That's what you'll. That's that. I think that fits in the standard these days.
Wait a minute. Gramps
Yeah,
is telling me
I-
they have 9. What do you mean they have 9, Gramps?
Rick, they have recount.
1, 2,
They're all 7 foot, right?
3, 4, 5,
7
6, 7, 8,
plus.
9, 10.
Ah,
It'd be
gotcha.
plus.
Gramps.
They always go. It's plus the tip, so the tip does not.
Oh, 9 plus the.
Yeah,
There
see
you go.
right
9
there.
plus.
So it's always the tip. All right,
It's always
It's just the tip usually.
just the tip.
yeah. And then
No means
I would
no.
say sensitivity is, speaking of, it's always the tip. Sensitivity is crucial. Like, it's absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
You're using light baits, maybe downsizing, so you're gonna have finessey bites, like the subtle bites, especially if the fish are lethargic, they're being a pain in the butt to catch, then you need to have a sensitive rod. Like, otherwise you're not going to catch them. You're going to miss bites left and right. So those are, like, if I had to narrow it down to just a few things, with 3 or 4 things I just said, it's like those.
And
I mean, obviously I want it
yeah.
to be strong,
yeah.
because I might get into some big fish.
And how long of a rod?
7
the
to 7
finesse
four
setup,
would be the
7 foot.
longest.
Well, sorry, for the
Yeah.
specifically around a kayak though.
7
Oh,
foot to 7 4 would be the longest.
I mean, we have 711s plus,
Yeah,
because
I've got an
Swimbait
8 foot, yeah.
crankbaits.
Ooh. All right.
So yeah, that's not as big deal. When it comes to the finesse, I like around that 7 foot though. That's like a
The
preference.
reason you don't want to go much longer than 7 4 would be the absolute longest. 7 to 7 1 is like kind of, this is the standard, and the reason is, as that rod gets longer, all you're getting is additional leverage to fight fish, which you don't really need with a medium light, and you're getting
Mhm.
longer casts, which you really don't want, and
Mhm.
you're not going to be doing with that rod. So what I really want is accuracy. So 610 is probably going to be the most accurate rod that you're going to get. That's going to be the easiest to cast when you're standing, especially in a kayak. So 7 foot is really the sweet spot, 7 to 7 1 for a finesse rod.
Yeah, and spinning. If I didn't mention that, I saw
Yeah,
Jason
I
Beckfish
see
Yeah,
that,
mention
yeah.
baitcaster. It's a spinning rod that we're talking about.
Mhm.
I think Paul was looking at your medium baitcaster for jerk
Yeah.
bites.
Yeah, I was really, that's a rod that I think probably is going to get overlooked. Some people might use that for cranking, but I really think that rod, I'm excited to try it out on some jerk baits, especially because by the time I get it, that we're going to either be right at the end of jerk bait season, or when the spring hits, that's going to be one of the first rods that I'm going to want to grab, is a bait casting medium setup. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to try that one out.
All right. Well, I'm excited for you guys to give me some feedback, and it won't be long. It's funny how the product development cycle works. Like, we already started developing like the next level up, and maybe what we
Nice.
do as part of that is a summer release, and we create a signature. I don't know, one specific for a kayak. Maybe we add another one to the series, because there's 9 in the series, but maybe we make one specific just for kayakers.
Rick, I would literally pay you to make an ultralight instead of doing that.
Also that's our other pride
I'm telling
and
you, that
joy
market is bigger than the kayak market, because
is a 5.6
folks
to
don't need
a,
folks for what the rod that you have works great for a
Yeah.
kayak, so you don't actually need a kayak specific rod. And someone mentioned in the series here, 13 Fishing made a whole line of kayak specific rods. They're not that great. They feel awkward in hand. I actually had one, didn't love it, and I love 13 Fishing. That rod I was holding is one of my favorite rods, the 13 Fishing rod. But an ultralight rod, no one else is making those. And I can tell you right now, there's probably
Not
15
enough
people
people.
minimum right now on this chat that would buy one. I'm looking at names. I can already tell you.
everybody who follows us or follows Ethan Do Better would love an
Just look
ultralight
at the
spinning setup.
just go ahead and
Yep.
look at the chat.
There, do it, chat. Do your thing that you do. Talking like a
Yeah.
5.6 to a 6 foot ultralight
Yes.
spinning setup.
Extra fast.
Yeah, extra fast, good
Fast, extra
backbone,
fast.
super sensitive.
Yep.
It's gonna catch me 3 to 5 pounders randomly from time to time, but yeah, mostly a good, well-rounded
overlooked-
multi-species.
It's an overlooked section of the market that's really not
Mhm.
too difficult to be successful in.
And it's
Same
one
right
and it's
now.
one rod.
Yeah, just one. You don't need
Yeah.
more than one. And one rod will do, as long as you're really intentional about how how tight the action is on it, you can do a rod that is going to do really well for things like inline spinners, like treble bait hooks, and one that is going to do well for jig and ultralight jigging applications, which is where a lot of people are falling somewhere in between. I would argue that more people are jigging, especially for like crappie and panfish, than are going for the trout type stuff. So I'd say you go a little bit on the stiffer side, and you're going to have a rod that is going to do. I know exactly what I would look for in that rod, and it's I don't think it's that hard to make a relatively inexpensive, high quality ultralight. People are going to be able to use that for bass, crappie, bluegill, and there's no fish. If you're fishing in a lake, there's nothing that rod can't fish or catch. I'm telling you.
What's the MSRP on a good ultralight?
High end, the best is high end, the best 150.
150.
Yeah, I'd say your mid range is going to be in the $75 to $55. You can get a great rod. I can recommend you one right now that you can go get for $49.99 anywhere that you can buy a rod.
You want to you want to design an ultralight rod?
Yes, 100%.
If that's on the table, yes, times 1,000.
All right,
Rick. I'm telling you right now, I carry 6 rods in my kayak, so that's the limit. I mean, sometimes I'll grab 1 or 2 more, but 6 is the number for me. It's the sweet spot, and I'm very particular about what 6 rods I can bring with me for a whole day of fishing. And ever since last year, without fail, doesn't matter what time of year, one of those rods is always an ultralight rod. I've caught my PB smallmouth. I broke my record 2 times in a week on the same exact bait, on the same exact ultralight rod, smallie, over 5 pounds. So, yeah, I believe that everyone should carry an ultralight.
Boom.
All right. I will. I'll tell you what. Let's schedule a call. And
we're on a call right now.
All right, fine.
Drop the paperwork on air is all we're saying. We don't ask for much. All right, here's the deal, though. 50% of the
I just want some blood.
Well, wait.
With all these witnesses,
what did you say you wanted?
50%.
I want it signed in blood.
Yeah, right.
I was signed in blood.
50%. You know what KVD gets, and his name's all over it.
110.
How much?
He doesn't get 10. He doesn't even get 10%.
It depends on who we're talking about.
But there's okay.
Which
but
sponsor?
He's gonna sell.
Husqvarna?
But he's gonna sell. But no, he's gonna sell because they made a whole line of loose rods. Right? Yeah. Of course, he's not gonna get 10% because they're gonna sell no matter what. They're gonna sell 100,000 rods, so it's not.
Yeah, we will.
He gets a buck. No, let's work. We got to figure out let's figure it out. I will put. Here's what I'll do.
9.9.
Here's what I'll commit to doing.
Not 10.
I will commit to. I'll introduce you to my rod designer. Okay. You tell me or he'll just say, "Give me the specs."
Mm-hmm.
We'll give it to him. Let's have him make some samples.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
And let's test them out because I could probably get. Wow.
I can tell you right now, there's only one thing that really, really matters that you need to get dialed, and I know exactly what it is. Everything else you already have. There's only one thing that needs to get hyper.
I'm listening.
I'm not going to tell you what it is because then.
Why? We're on a call.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I got Andy Leonard says this is Shark Tank, Paul.
All right, I'm in.
Right,
the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters is how fast that rod action is. It's the only thing that matters. If you can dial into the right point how fast that rod action is, you have to find the right balance between a jig fishing ultralight rod and a treble bait ultralight fishing rod. Everything else is already built in and is not nearly as important as that single factor. If you can get it to be right in between fast and extra fast, where it's not too stiff and it's not too soft, you're going to absolutely make the perfect ultralight rod. And yes, I know what I'm saying. Deal with it.
I know it. Everybody knows what you're saying.
I'm a child, okay? I get it.
Basically, Rick, what we've learned with these rods is like when you get a moderate ultralight, most people are upset about it. Like it's not as fun to fish. It's really good at treble baits, but if you want to fish more than just treble baits, you're going to be upset trying to set the hook on any jig, like any jig. So it's just too soft overall. So you want a little bit stiffer, extra fast action, enough whippiness, but still able to commit to an accurate cast. Because a lot of times, especially if you get into like wading the rivers or
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're trying to flip it undercover, stuff like that, like you want that accurate cast. Like that's really important. And it's a lot tougher to cast something that weighs 1/32 of an ounce versus a quarter ounce or something. So yeah, it makes a big difference.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get a delivery. I'm gonna get a sample delivery time before the show's over. I just asked my factory.
Yes.
Let's find out.
Look at us doing things and stuff.
Stuff and things.
Let's
Now we're ready for that other caller.
Yeah, let's go. He's been waiting 20 minutes. 20 minutes. What? Go ahead, caller.
Oh, you know I'd wait forever to talk to these guys. Come on.
What's up, T-Rex?
How you guys doing?
What's
T-Rex here.
What's up?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Enjoyed the show last night. I'm good.
Thank you, brother.
Just staying busy, getting ready for a tournament on November 12th, doing a 2-day tournament, my first 2-day tournament. So
Nice.
Good luck.
I just want to tell you guys that I've been really enjoying the new stuff that you guys are doing. I'm really enjoying the new podcast. So keep up the great work. I feel it's a lot better than what you guys were doing before. No offense, but I seem to enjoy it a little bit better.
Hey, no offense taken, and very much appreciated. We knew we mentioned it in all the promo we tried to do. Like our joke is that the last podcast had 0 rails. We basically just went off the rails, and it was just two guys having fun. We made a lot of great connections through it, and we made a lot of great friends through it, which is amazing. Like that's how we really connected with a lot of people. But in terms of like delivering any value whatsoever, it wasn't really. We know that. That's why we stopped doing it. So I appreciate that. You were very kind about that, how you said that too. thanks for watching the new show.
I always try to be kind.
Hey, if everybody did that, wouldn't the world be a little bit better of a place?
Oh yeah, I would. So I try to be a good guy. Otherwise, Rick texts me, "Knock it off, T-Rex."
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Bro, how's your heated
Rick,
jacket? How's your heated jacket that you got?
I just ordered it yesterday, so they said it's going to be a couple of weeks before it gets here.
That's
but
unbelievable.
you got a picture of what it's going to look like.
So you plug this jacket in?
Yeah, it has an external battery. It keeps the 9 different heaters going on the inside.
Bro,
I'm
you're
scared.
gonna be out on the water and all of a sudden catch on fire, man.
I'm very nervous.
Then he's safe. He
for
just
you.
jumps in the water. It's fine.
That's true.
Hey,
Unless he's been electrocuted.
As he
if
gets
it catches on
electrocuted.
fire, Rick, at least
No, jump in the water.
if
in your
I catch
battery
on fire,
jacket.
at least I'll be hot and stuff for a change.
No, I can't.
Hey, there you go. I'm warm.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
I always look for the bright side. So if it catches on fire, I'll be hot stuff. So I got a $500,000 life insurance policy. My wife will be happy.
It's a win, But
Not a
is
win-win, but
right?
It is a win.
Yeah, I just said win one time.
So about the ultralight rod, I think Burly Fishing guys right there, Rick, will do you a great job designing you something. I say go with them. You got my vote.
Heck yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Bringing in the
Well,
backups,
here we go.
backup.
If the cosmetics are not complicated and the blanks can be made using one of the current mandrels that we have, it will take around 4 weeks to get new samples. If you want me to create a new one, I need an extra week. So 5 weeks. So we could probably have something in 6 weeks.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
just in time for ice.
Sounds like a mission.
I'll use it on the ice. we go fish
Yeah.
with that 5, 6.
I got it. Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, my question: 20 to 25 foot water, shad balls everywhere. What are you throwing?
Deep crank.
Water 68
For sure.
degrees to 70 degrees.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
a deep
okay.
crank, and I'm running a deep crankbait. You said above. You said just under 70.
Right now, the water's 68 to 70, depending on where you're at.
I'm still running that deep crank. You don't have to go that slow, and medium size. I'd start with a medium size and see how it goes. And the other thing about if you're seeing those bait balls on sonar, like you've already won. That's at that you're already way ahead of the game. And if they're if you're anywhere near like any kind of structure and you're seeing those bait balls, yeah, I would be deep cranking for sure. And then I'd be doing whatever I can do to stay just above wherever you're seeing that bait. I want to be just above it, probably. I don't necessarily want to be going right through it.
So cover the water column. A few different depth divers of those crankbaits. And if you got to cover water in that situation. Like that's the only way I'd be comfortable is covering water and trying to see what they're keying in on. And then if I want to get weird, that's like I'm throwing a big glide bait. I'm just going to get weird. I'm going to like have a very loud glide bait and I'm going to try and call them up. So like Debo just made us some. Fantastic for calling them up. Yeah, like the loudest, like a 7 to a 9-inch one. So just, run the cranks. And if you want to get weird, try something different. That's what we like to do. That's like a situation I'd be comfortable doing that. Because with those, you can call them in from like 40 feet away. Like they'll come up to it. And then you might get a big one.
Yeah. I've been doing pretty decent, so I'm hoping it still keeps running a couple more weeks. So I can do. There's going to be, as of right now, there's 56 people. Right now, actually, I've been really good with a underspin with a Kitech on it, and a double willow spinnerbait with a Kitech on it.
There you go. I mean, you could throw go a little heavier with your spinnerbait in that water depth. Like a 3/4 ounce. You
3/4 ounce
or 3/4 ounce. Yeah, I'd be running those for sure. Just you got warm enough water, man. I'd just be moving and just trying to cover that water and see what I can knock into.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Sweet.
Hey, I do have one more question for Rick.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
Can we get the Alex Rudd creamsicle in a deep diving crankbait?
Ooh.
How deep?
As deep as you can get them.
Well, I mean, I could make.
I had to keep my head out of the gutter right there.
The deepest I have is a 10, but I could make a 16 and a 20. I mean,
I thought we had a 12 to 16.
I have one that's it's never been made, but I have the blanks right here. I don't have the blanks here. I have the blanks at home though. You want a 20?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have. Well, I probably have 2 or 3 maybe that go that deep. I do, but not many.
We have 2 or 3.
Well, the lakes here in California are pretty deep.
Yeah.
The other day when I was just driving around with my sonar on, just looking for shad balls and looking for fish, and down towards the dam, it's still over 100 foot deep.
Damn.
And it's low at Millerton Lake.
Gosh dang.
That's pretty deep, T-Rex.
Where's your 80 foot? You don't have one of those blanks laying around?
You got an 80-foot crank?
Yeah.
It's a shovel. You just put a shovel in front of a piece of plastic.
I'm gonna sell you a brick in Alex Rudd creamsicle.
No, hear me out. It's in creamsicle.
Yeah.
Touch everything.
Nice.
It's a rock, but hear me out.
I wouldn't fish. I wouldn't fish for bass in a tournament that deep, because a lot of times when you pull them up from that deep, they're going to die on you.
Yeah, they're not built for that.
They're not going to last in a live well.
Crazy.
100%.
You like your chances this weekend?
It's actually the 12th. I'm going to be pre-fishing more days. I'm hitting it 2 to 3 days a week right now. And a lot of what I'm doing is just driving around, spotting fish and marking it on my maps. And I'll fish a little bit. A week and a half out, I'll go out and fish, but I won't have any hooks on just to see what they're biting on. So just trying my best, you know.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Love it.
So I've learned so much from Rick's show here, talking to the pros, man. It's been really helping out my game. So I want to give
Too bad he
props to
brought
Rick
these
right
two
there.
nerds on.
But
Bro.
oh yeah, these guys, I've watched their show too. I watched their show, your show, and the only other thing I listen to fishing is the Bass Report on Spotify.
I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I can't say I
You're
listen
in
to that
wonderful
one.
company.
I'm gonna look it up. I'll go listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, all right, well, guys, thanks for answering my question. And like I say, keep up the great work. I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure everybody else is too. So it was a pleasure
Appreciate it,
talking
man.
with you guys. And thanks for all the laughs, because let me tell you what, Paul there makes me laugh like crazy. His Instagram,
Appreciate
he
you.
kills me all the time.
The Heat Miser?
Thank you, brother.
The Heat Miser, did you
Yeah.
call him?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
man.
yeah,
Later, T-Rex.
you guys have a good day.
Thanks, man. See ya.
All right. If we don't get this guy, he's going to get really upset with me.
Hold on, before we get on, I gotta say hi to my son because he's in the other room and I can hear myself echoing, so I know he's still watching. I say, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" So he's gonna freak out in 4 seconds when that comes.
I saw Haley in chat going, "Hi, Dad." Hi, Dad. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, he talked to
There
me. I love it.
Go ahead,
What's
Greg.
up? Who's on? Is it Greg?
It's Greg.
Is Greg.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Greg?
dude?
What's up, Burly?
Not much,
How are
man.
you
How you
guys?
doing?
Just chilling, man. I'm trying to hook this new Bluetooth up, and I bought a new car. Trying to experiment with it.
What'd you get?
2022 Subaru Legacy.
Going for the boo.
Subaru. All right.
Legacy.
It's the car, right?
Yeah, it's a car.
Sedan.
It has a hitch too.
Sure does.
Oh, nice.
Was it green?
Burly,
or blue?
when are their lives starting back up? It's like a
Lives?
silver metallic.
The lives are hot, my man. We're going every Wednesday.
Yeah.
I know, I
missed
keep
all
missing the
old
number
lives,
live.
too. You miss every live we have, no matter what day it is.
I feel bad every time we schedule
Man.
live. This guy's like at the end of like a 68-hour shift, and he's like, "But
Oh, my God. Always, right?
But I'm asleep. No.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to hop on and say what's up. And down there, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
you, man.
Absolutely.
We'll have to get you on.
guys
We'll have to get you
before,
on and winning another giveaway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He wins every giveaway.
It's ideal.
Giveaway champ.
We've actually had complaints about how many of the members win the giveaways. I get people chatting me all the time, like, "Oh, look, another member won a giveaway." I'm like, "It's rigged." I'm like, no, it's not. But I'm kind of glad it's working out.
Yeah.
You got
All right.
anything?
Well, you guys have a great holiday.
You too,
All right,
man.
brother.
Enjoy
You
them
too.
all.
All right, Greg. See you later, man.
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
We got another one. You guys ever get stopped like at the, at the grocery store, or you're in wherever, Walmart, and someone's like, "Hey, aren't you guys Burly Fishing?"
No.
It's never happened
No,
once.
It happened.
Not once.
It's happened.
Ever.
Yeah, it's happened at Cabela's, but it's not normal. And only
No.
if I'm wearing the Burly hat has it ever happened. Because otherwise, no one would probably ever they might see the hat and be like, "Wait a minute," or whatever. But
Right.
no, not really.
The only time I have is like at my home lakes, just because everybody knows around here that I fish these lakes, and they found out that I was posting about it. So I've talked to them, and that's about it. In the wild, not so much. I think I met a kid who was duck hunting maybe like 2 years ago while I was fishing the river. He was like, "We're going after ducks. You burly fishing?" I was like,
Yeah, we're not
Yes, sir.
we're not like JC Dropshot, who gets he gets stopped every other
signs
day,
autographs everywhere
by
he
all of
goes.
his fans, his massive fans. Yeah.
My boy JC.
Oh, juicy drop shot.
Dude, no! Juicy! I think he
Oh,
should
shit.
make the apparel line though, where he brings back the juicy sweatpants, where it says
Oh.
juicy, the juicy drop shot.
No.
Come on.
Can you imagine in his size?
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah.
Custom orders only, dude. That would be so ridiculous.
Oh man,
Oh,
what a
yeah.
riot we had at Houghton
In
Lake.
sparkle?
In
Oh,
spark.
yeah.
You gotta have the spark. It's gotta be bedazzled.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gotta be
Apple bottom, juicy drop shot pants.
Hilarious. All right, let's take this other call. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ralph, Farming Outdoors.
Oh, it's the
Hey,
boss.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Just got back home from the lake. It was a sucky
I would
day.
say you're probably sitting somewhere in a bunker, like guarding a missile.
He said he just got back from the lake, bro.
Yeah, and now he's doing his
Well,
job.
Back to the missile.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
No,
Wow.
I
How'd you do on the
wholeheartedly
lake?
ride a desk at this.
What did he say? You wanted what?
I wholeheartedly ride a desk at this point in my career.
That's what they
Oh,
all
you're
say.
riding that desk. I got you. Guard the desk.
Yeah.
How'd you do on the lake? That bad, huh?
Today was
I was-
kind of cold. I've been out in like 2 weeks, and it's like I think the temperature got up to like maybe 62, but the water was like 58 to 60, and it was super cold. This was dying, plumps floating everywhere, and it probably didn't help that when I got out there, a bunch of our Army engineers people had just gotten off the water with all their little fast Zodiac speedboats doing training, so all the fish probably ran deep.
Yep.
It's time to get out the old lipless.
The old shovel deep diving crank will do you well.
The old creamsicle brick.
The creamsicle special brick. You know, it works really
So
well.
it's
Great
funny you
hooks.
say that. The first fish in the boat this year, and I sent a picture to Alex too. The first fish in the boat this year was on the creamsicle crankbait.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I bought
Is it-
one at the classic. I think I bought it at the classic or it came in a box. I can't remember which one. And that's the first fish in the boat this year was on that bait. I actually have it on the table because I don't want to lose it, so I don't throw it anymore.
It doesn't catch a lot of fish on the table.
I don't
Just
want to
don't
lose
let
it,
Paul
so I
fish
kept
with
the
it.
first bait.
Yeah, just
The-
don't
the
give it to
fir-
me. Like guaranteed broken.
The first bait, the first fish in the new boat was on a rattlebot. That
Oh,
was last
really?
year, and then the first fish in this was on the creamsicle. I have a new one. I have another one, but I don't want to use that one. I like put it back in a box. And
Don't
I'm
do
a,
that.
one thing about the military. I'm a
I'm
memento
coming
person,
up-
though. That's what the military does. You keep mementos, you
Yeah.
keep little trinkets and things, and
You're being a
places
hoarder
and
does
things.
not.
You're
You
being
can't
a
blame that
hoarder.
on being in the army.
Everybody listening, if you got baits in boxes, get them out of
Fish
the
'em.
boxes and go fish them. Just like I
The
said,
only- the-
don't give them to Paul. Paul will break them.
If you want them whole,
If you want them whole, fish them yourself.
but that's common knowledge.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get as much in as I can before it gets super cold. They're predicting a horrible winter here this year.
It is supposed to be colder than average.
We got like 2 weeks left in
It's it.
Michigan. So.
They're saying January, February for us in Kentucky is going to be the worst month.
Ugh.
I hope so. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At this point in the year, like I get really sad. But like once the leaves are all down and it starts raining all the time, my brain shifts over and I start getting excited for ice season. So if it's going to be cold and it's going to be rainy and miserable, we might as well have ice. And so
It
the
better be
worst
ice.
thing that can happen is that it's cold and there's snow and you don't get ice. And you don't get ice till like February. You get it for 4 weeks and then it's trash ice and then it goes away. That's the worst case scenario. And we had that for like 5 years straight. Average
I was
amount
gonna say, I
of
remember
ice
you
the
guys
last
posting
time.
about that last year.
Last year was great. The year before that, dog crap. And it sucks,
Yeah,
man.
that's right,
Because
it's the year. That's right.
you can lose a whole season, like in the blink of an eye.
Now, when you're ice fishing, are you
Well,
just
give me a reason.
out on the water? Or are you in some kind of a structure?
We're bootstrappers, dude.
Well, yeah,
we do own a shelter.
I do have a shelter. It's a nice big 4-person shelter, like a pop-up though, and it's great. But no, we're not hauling around, a shack on a 4-wheeler. We're not there. I would love to get a 4-wheeler because it would open up so many opportunities, but like it's not going to happen. Not anytime soon. So yeah, right now we're just walking.
I think I told Jeff. I think I told Jeff when we were fishing up there before last year. There was a place in Minnesota. I think it was Perrick that posted a video about it, where it's a shack that they pull out on a lake when it freezes in Minnesota. Is it in Minnesota or Wisconsin? One of them. And they pull it out on a lake once it's solid frozen, and they drill holes. And when you're sitting at your table, you're tip up fishing through your table, and you catch a fish and pull it up and measure it on the table. It meets the limits. Give it to your waiter. They take it in the back and cook it fresh.
Dude, Sam Moore has a house. Of course he does, right? And Sam Moore has built it so that he can actually work from the ice. So he's got flat screen TVs, microwave, computer workstations. Like,
This guy.
and I think to myself, I'm like,
Elon Musk has a Starlink.
Leave it to Sam.
Right?
Leave
it to Sam.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sam's something else, man. Sam's something else.
He really
He's got
is.
this stuff. I loved when we were on the St. Lawrence
That's
and he
where you're
brought his
awesome.
drone. He brought his drone goggles into the restaurant. That's also a gas station. It's just wearing his drone goggles. If you guys don't know, drone goggles are something absurd. Just like they look like big military night vision goggles almost.
Yeah, they look like the
little
Oculus.
antennae sticking out of them.
Yeah.
Dude, something else, that guy.
Yeah, he is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that'll give you an idea.
Oh my
Sam
God.
Moore. As he will send his drone flying by your face as you make a cast at 57 miles an hour. Just
He was using the drone to point out bedded fish that I couldn't see while we were in Minnesota.
yeah,
Crazy.
Well, you were. In
He would hover it over the fish and like bounce it up and down and be like basically like, hey idiot,
Dummy,
we're
right here. Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
That's like a video game tutorial. It's like everybody else turns the tutorial off. Paul turned it on.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just gonna buy one of those flogger cones. I was gonna buy one of those flogger cones this year for the spawning season.
I'll be honest with you guys. I did not love fishing bedded fish. Like, it's cool to catch huge fish and it's kind of easy, but like I didn't enjoy it. I really didn't enjoy
Feels
it.
wrong.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And everyone else is doing it. So like, I mean, you could use that and like the whole thing. And I mean, we caught some giant fish, but I had way more fun running the Mad Max popper under docks and around structure in the morning, and I caught way bigger fish. So I don't know. I've never been.
That's what I liked up there was.
I don't do it.
That's what I liked up there was in Michigan with you guys with dock fishing. So my lake here on Fort Knox doesn't have any structure. Well, there's trees and rocks. And, that was a new skill for me to master between fishing with you all and Bill Matthews down in Kalamazoo. I honed my dock fishing skills and pitching and casting and accuracy. They get pretty good. I hit a couple of boats, but
I mean, that's a
as long as we didn't fish the demon dock. As long as we didn't fish the demon dock, we didn't bring any spirits home with us that me and Jeff ran into.
I don't know if anybody saw that video, bro.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The dock with all like the dolls on it and stuff.
Somebody on a lake.
Satanic dolls.
Yeah, they had a floating dock, and they had coated it essentially with like just dolls, stuffed animals that were just out there rotting for years.
Crazy.
They were just falling apart. It was covered in spider webs, and not the fake kind from the store for Halloween, like real spider webs. It was disturbing, to say the least. Yeah. Essentially, yeah, Chaz
Oh
is in
my
chat. Annabelle was probably there, very much possessed Doc.
There was a Chucky doll. I remember a Chucky doll.
There was a Chucky doll. There were also like Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man. It was just weird.
That's weird.
Really, like those people that drive around in their cars and on the back window they have like a bunch of bobbleheads and stuff. It reminded me of that. Or like, I don't know, just Beanie
Garden
Babies or
Gnome
whatever
collection.
back. Something. Oh man.
Oh, that was a fun day. That was a fun day. I'm glad I came up here for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was awesome.
How many likes are we at right now on the video? Someone's saying if we hit 80, we could do a ticket. What are we at?
4,000.
I have no idea.
According to the other phone, 89.
Hey.
Well, let's do one.
I mean, ticket time.
All right. Get your golden tickets, guys. All right. You know the
This is
drill.
me looking out for you guys.
Here we go. Let's see. I know there's I've been getting a lot of hate mail. Not really hate mail, but you guys are really getting a little upset with me that I keep calling the new numbers instead of the old ones. So next show, I'm going to call all old ones. So these are the new ones. All right. 12086.
How long should we keep them? I was going to ask that question.
What's your question?
No, I was going to say, how long should we keep them there? Because I threw away a bunch of them from like the past few months. So I need to start stashing them somewhere since I'm a hoarder. I'll start keeping them.
You probably should go back into the garbage that's sitting behind your house and pull them out. They're still good. Here's another one. 10844. There's 3 of them. All you got to do is email me at marketing@monsterbass.com and we'll send you something. And then we're going to give away a bag at the end of the show today. And I think what we're going to do is everybody who's veteran or active military, you comment down below when I tell you to later on. I'm going to give it to one of you guys. So
love it.
Oh, see,
or if you have G14 clearance like Marty Lawson, who's our next caller. So
well, hang on, Rick. Before you do that call, I do actually have to bounce for a webinar for my real person job. I know. So Paul is going to be me and himself, and he's going to split personalities for the rest of the show. I believe we agreed on it. We practiced too, right, Paul? You good?
Yeah, I'm going to make fun of myself for like 45
Activate
minutes.
beard now.
Yeah, just
activate
just
beard.
this out real quick.
Let's talk about.
I still can't. Can't see it. It's still not there. But yeah, Rick, really appreciate you having me on.
I'll let you guys get to the next call then.
Yeah, we'll see you, Ralph.
Appreciate you,
What's
Army.
up, buddy?
Take care, brother.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks, chat. You guys are super awesome.
See you, man.
Oh, look at the flow on that gray Jeff.
Wow. How do we get rid of him?
I think he's with us the whole time.
There you
Ask him
go.
a question.
Click it. I just did it. Now, how do we move Paul up top?
We don't.
Unbelievable. All right. Hold on. Let's take our next call. All right. Before we do, actually, we're gonna ask Marty his opinion too.
Okay.
Can I control the mouse? All right. Hold on. Let's go to. Do you know what this looks like?
Hey,
Marty. What's going on, man?
Not much. Been real busy. Took a vacation down to Alabama. Fished at Lake Gunnersville. Fished with my grandson. Had a great time. Came back up here to Virginia. Went fishing once. The water level is so low up here around us right now that we haven't had a substantial rain in months. So they're pumping all the water out of the reservoir. So now I can't even get my boat into the places I usually like to fish. And it's just really bad. We need to get some rain up here. But like I mentioned in the comment, people are talking about using a swim bait. And I went out there last weekend and I caught a nice 4.5, almost 5 pound bass using a Kitech with a Z-Man Ned head. And
Bingo.
that's all they would hit. I mean, I threw everything before I started that, and I was like, well, let's just try this. And it actually really worked out well for me. So, yeah, so that was good.
See,
And
some of our
by the way,
advice is good.
yeah. And one other thing being that I haven't been on the last couple shows, Rick, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Saw that. Yeah, saw that on the MONSTERBASS Facebook page, which is doing outstanding. I think it's great. I actually posted on there, Rick, just the other day, that 4.5 pounder I caught last weekend.
Right
I
on.
dropped on the MONSTERBASS page.
Right on. 4.5. What'd you
Yeah.
catch it on?
Hey, I was just saying on that
Kitech.
Kitech with
Oh,
the net
yeah,
head.
yeah. All right,
Yep.
Speaking of cold weather baits,
But hey,
go ahead.
yeah. So being that you were having me look at the chat here and run that for a little bit, I had a guy call or ask a question from Southern Alabama. Want to know, Paul, if what you think are the bass moving up in the creeks down in the Alabama area? And I can say down there, I was in, northern Alabama, and the water was still. Well, this was 2 weeks ago. The water was still in the 70s, and I'm not sure if they were moving up in the creeks yet. What do you think?
No, 70 degrees, not really. And not to the point where you're like going to target that area. Now, if they're emptying out into a lake, you're going to go there no matter what, right? I mean, it's going to be a place to fish. But at 70 degrees, I would say no. But, Rick was chuckling and I was chuckling too, only because, the only thing I can really speak to, I've never fished that strain of bass in my life. And I've never fished a place that doesn't have winter in my life. So my opinion's worth less than nothing. But knowing that the water's that warm, I would say probably not. And that's all I can offer you as an aggressively average angler from the state of Michigan.
Right. So, okay. So now my next thing, we were talking about the ultralight rods that Rick's going to make. And here in Virginia, I fish the Rappahannock River.
Uh-huh.
And Paul, like you, I grew up in Maine, so I know all about the winter fishing and everything else. But, what I found is I went and got myself an 8-foot rod. And it was it's a medium with a fast action tip, because I'm fishing in between all these branches that are hanging down over the river, and I'm having to get out there, essentially do like I used to do bow cast.
Yep.
To actually cast between limbs out into the river. It's not a big river, and right now with the water levels being down and everything, it's really the only way you can get to some of these spots is with a longer rod. So
No,
understand
I hear ya.
kayak fishing, shorter butt and stuff, but I have a tendency to like that longer rod.
I got a couple things with the longer rod. So I fished a lot of longer rods. My first crappie rod, we'll say panfish rod, was a 10-footer. And it was a medium. The problem with that rod for me, one, you miss a lot of bites. Because you can't hook set that fish the way you really need to all the time with that long rod. You're going to miss a lot of bites. Two, it's only really effective in like that scenario. Because you're right, that's the only way that you can get those fish. But if you can wet wade, I would take the 5.6 all day, every day, no question. If I'm in a lake, I would take the 5.6 all day, every day. I'm gonna catch more fish. That's just me. It is the 10, 11 footer is awesome, and it's really great for like salmon and trout and a whole bunch of other things. But so is a 5.6. So for me, if I could only make one, in this case, I think I can only make one. I'm gonna say the 5.6. I also fish what is probably more ultralight than what you can actually cast, even with that 10-foot medium. Because that 10-foot medium, once you get below like 132, it's not gonna happen. Your line's gonna wave. You have more line out, slacked out past the reel, that you won't be able to cast that that bait very effectively. The 5.6 though like 4-pound braid to like a 2-pound leader, you can cast anything. I cast a 180, and so for me, I think the 5.6 is more versatile. And so again, if you're looking at Rick's lineup, we got a couple of rods right now that cover all the basics, like the go-tos, which is great. And if I was going to add an ultralight, I'd want something that's really more flexible. So that's why I'd say 5.6. But in your case, you're 100% right, especially like in the dead heat of summer, when they're on beds. Yeah, you're basically 10 car fishing. It's a wonderful way to catch fish, and it really is. In your case, it could be the only way to catch that fish. You're 100% right, though.
Yeah, it's, right now I can skip around the rocks a little bit, but I'm getting a little old for that. I'm 58, so skipping around the rocks like I used to when I was a kid, a little different. But I'm finding with that longer rod, even from shore, I can't say that I've missed more than 10 fish.
Sure.
I've been really successful at it, but I also think it's just the aggressiveness of the fish that I'm going after in that river. It's very low pressured. So when they hit something, I mean, they're just crushing it. It's not like a subtle little bump in the current. They're smashing it and they're running. So a lot of times I don't even have to set the hook. They're doing it themselves. So I wanted to get your opinion on that.
You're basically 10-car fishing a lot of times. Like once you get it way out there, you just let the line drop off the reel and you're pretty much on the spot. You may swing it a bit, and then at that point, there's really no slack to do a hook set. The difference for me is like I'm looking for those fish that are highly pressured, in the river system that gets walked and yacked every day. And if you've ever ice fished, which you're up north, you probably experienced this. That's the fact that bluegill's the fastest biting fish in the water, and they will test you, and if you're not quick on the draw, you miss that fish. So, but I hear there's no one size fits all. But for me, and in my experience, I think that 5.6 is like you could go to 6 foot. I like the 5.6. But it's so versatile. Like the number of people that can pick up that rod and be successful from day one and not have to worry about breaking it in their truck. They can keep it almost anywhere once it's under 6 foot. It is really an inexpensive rod to mass produce as well. It's like one of the cheapest rods to make. And it's going to be able to throw everything up to like a 332, maybe a little higher at the ultralight, all the way down to a 180, and it really just depends on the line that you put on there. So you go up to 1/8 probably. And so for me, again, dude, I have one of those rods that you're talking about. I have one of those. I still have my 10-footer in the garage, and it is for like that exact reason. You're 100% right.
Right. So hey, another question for you, Paul, with ice fishing. Have you ever caught landlocked salmon?
Landlocked.
Did you catch that?
Salmon. Yeah, I don't think so.
Salmon. So you need to make a trip up to Maine. Make a trip up to Maine, and there's places up there, Swan Lake, which is in Waldo County, Maine. That's where I used to fish a lot, and we had landlocked salmon in Swan Lake. So they were introduced years and years ago, and they get pretty darn big up in there.
I was gonna say,
you catch them along with the lake trout in there. Oh yeah,
I would say they're probably
they get real big, and it's a big spring-fed lake. So yeah, they do really good in there.
Dude, that's cool.
One last thing I got for Rick.
Yes, sir.
Rick, if you don't mind, I asked months and months ago when Alex Rudd came out with that series of crankbaits, if we were going to have the ability to buy the entire 6-pack of all of them at one time instead of just individually. I'm looking at. I want to buy the whole set. So if you could get that together and offer that on, really cool. But other than that, you're doing great. And, I think you continue to do what you do, continue to support the veterans, you put that out, and I saw a bunch of guys on here listening that are either active duty or vets. I think you have a good following with the veterans on your site, and hold on, I got to give some potato chips to this dang dog before she starts barking again.
What kind of chips does your dog like?
Right now, well, I got two dogs.
Okay.
I got a great big brown one. He's a pit Labrador mix, and he's Lebowski, as in
the big
Lebowski.
Yeah.
And then the other one, yeah. The other one is a French bulldog, and she runs the house. That's the one that barks. So, yeah, that's what I got sitting here with me.
They probably like the crunchy chips.
Again, they do. They sit down here in the basement with me and work with me and everything else, and they're enjoyable. They keep. My wife is upstairs watching, the Real Housewives of, I don't know, wherever.
San Bernardino.
I can't stand it. So, yeah, wherever they're at.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, but yeah, I let her watch that. I come down here and watch Monster Bass live, and it's a whole lot better doing this than it is doing that.
Right. You want to know how ridiculous that Housewives thing is? There's a bar here in Los Angeles that one of them made. And they have a lineup every night of people from Instagram that want to go to this bar, take their pictures, and pay $22 for Well vodka and 7-Up or whatever the hell it is they're drinking.
Isn't that Vanderpump?
There's that one, but they all have them. It's the dumbest shit ever. I don't go that crap. Anyway.
So I think the better thing to do is what I found out was over there in Ireland, and I believe it was the show, I want to say Game of Thrones.
Okay.
But some of the castle doors that they used in Game of Thrones, they actually have in bars over there in Ireland. And you can go and take pictures of the bars in Ireland. I think that would be a whole lot better than going to some, housewives of wherever they get Well vodka and 7-Up, right?
Gross. Whatever. All right, Marty.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
There's another guy, Army Outdoors, 88N.
Yeah.
22 years in the Army and still going.
Are you saying he's our winner?
Hey, thanks, guys.
Wait a minute, hold on. Marty, are you picking him is he our winner?
Yeah. I do believe.
Okay.
22 years in the Army and still going. He's on your channel. I know he's getting up ass crack early in the morning. That guy needs to win.
Great. He's the winner. You picked it, Marty. Good work.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thanks, sir. You too.
He's got classified G14.
I've classified nothing.
He was gonna hook me up with a tour of the Pentagon. Yeah, we were. That was when we were in DC and we didn't make it happen because it was like Easter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to have my own Monster Bass bar. That'll do really well. Let's all right, Paul. Before we go to this, actually, you know what? Can I do it right now? All right. You fish a lot of flat-sided crankbaits?
I do.
You like them silent or you like them with rattles?
I fish the river a lot, so I end up with a lot. I end up using the silent ones, but if I was a lake fishing man, I'd be going with the rattle. Because you can't count. You can count on hitting stuff in the river. I can count on bumping stuff, and so the silent one is like surprising that fish, especially in springtime is when I usually use them. And so it's hitting something, and when it's silent, there's no warning. And so if I hit something like a rock at the bottom, that's when I'm going to get a bite if there's like a fish nearby. So I like the silent. In a lake, though, if you're warning that fish, you're bringing it in, you're not going to be able to hit as much stuff. So I like the rattle if I'm in a lake.
What do you consider spring? What month?
For me?
Yeah.
May, April.
Maybe then. Maybe. All right. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's see.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That's 100%.
Hold on. Let's see if we can get this. How do we zoom in on that, Conrad?
That's perfect. I got it. Oh, there you go. That's sweet, man. Like the OG Slim.
All right. There's no way to get it.
It's not going to be clear.
It should be. All right, forget it. I'm going to send this to you. I'd like your opinion.
I know exactly what bait that's copying. 100%.
No, you
I know
don't.
that blank.
We designed this blank.
Oh, there you go. All right. It looks. I'm gonna say it looks like a hell of a lot like a really popular.
Which one?
The Rapala, the OG.
Oh, I don't know what the Rapala OG is.
Okay, I'll show you a picture of it.
To my knowledge, the only one that puts these like grooves, like they have grooves at the bottom.
Sweet. No, and I can't see that, so you'll have to show me. You'll have to send me that picture.
All right, I'll send that to you then. I'd love your opinion on it.
All right.
Because I'm gonna put. I've got one version that is. I've got one version that's silent and one that I put 3 little glass beads in it. And the glass beads, they don't make. It's totally different than a noisy version. I'm thinking about maybe not having the silent version. I'm thinking about maybe just having the 3. They're ever so slight and so small.
If it's something different, I'd go with something different for sure. Because someone can go get the silent somewhere else. If I've got an opportunity to get a totally different bait that nobody else is going to have, or that not as many people are going to have, I'm going with that bait all day. So many people fishing these days. If you can just do something different, that's the route I'm going.
Totally. All right. Let's. This guy's waiting 18 minutes. I'm not even sure who it is. Let's go here. And then, hey Conrad, do me a favor. Let's turn off the phone line. Let's. We got some. Here. Can't touch the thing. All right. Groovy. Hold on. I'm going to text this to you, Paul. Go ahead, call where you're from. Oh.
Hello, and hello. I'm next door to the SoFi Stadium right here in Inglewood, California, where Harry Styles has sold out 15 nights, and hot chicks are flying all in from everywhere to Los Angeles to see Harry Styles. And I guess those chicks are beautiful. They love that guy. He's here for 15 nights. What's up there, Paul? Sorry that I missed Jeff. Man, this is Mr. Gamer 2000. Just want to give you guys a heads up. These are the best Beavis and Butthead guys that you could have talking about bass all day long. These guys, the one got me into the kayak stuff too, man. You got to see what they do on the river with them yaks. And I'm going to tell you right now, those guys, when it comes to fishing in the ice rig, I want you to take that trip to visit these guys. Get these guys out there in that hut when they're on it. I think it's about 2 foot of ice or something like that they're fishing on. Oh, my freaking God. You got to go out there with these guys, man. It's been epic filming if you could go out there and film with these guys, because they're freezing their butts off, but they're out there in these huts all covered over, and they're jigging for fish with cameras at the bottom. Now, they hit a nerve this week with me because they brought out swim baits. Both of them talking about swim baits. And I said, okay, these guys definitely got them hit my nerve. I got to talk to them a little bit and see what's going on with the swim baits. They got a bunch of people planted some swim baits for them. And guys, I'm telling you right now, you want some fun filming? You got to film fish hitting that swim bait in the middle of the winter, jigging it up and down, seeing if a big giant pike is going to come in and get it. That would be something epic if you tried that. Oh my God, that would be some filming. I'm going to tell you guys, these guys are pretty good. I like what you're doing. Keep up the good work.
That is the most hype introduction I've ever received in my life, and it's not even close. That was a 55 out of 10. That was amazing. I feel like $1 million right now. Thank you. And I'm gonna have to take one of those Devo customs, and I'm gonna have to jig it. Especially because most of them fall flat, like they fall straight down. I'm in. Consider it done.
You pulling tubes?
That sounds like a great deal. All right now, Rick, you know already, I got to tell these people, Rick's doing something crazy. If you're not on Rick's VIP list, of Monster Bass, you got to go to the monsterbass.com website. Log into the Monster Bass. Give me your email. Give me your phone number. Rick is still sending out that code to give you a free reel. It's a 3,000 series reel from 13 Fishing if you sign up for 3 months of that Monster Bass. Don't lose out on a free reel, guys. It's a good reel. That means that you can get a reel for that 3-month thing and you're already signing up. Dig yourself in and get yourself a free reel. Rick may not do these deals all the time, but when he does, you got to say, Rick's crazy. I'm going to accept it.
Dude, you need to pay. You need to pay this man like right now. Yeah, I think you owe him $50 for that.
We're just gonna sit around and rip tubes and talk about radio spots.
Dude, that was legit.
He is legit.
I'm telling you guys, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This fun time. It's trick or treat time. Officially, this is our last Monster Bass probably thing until November. So basically, trick or freaking treat. Everybody wants a treat. So if you don't log into that website and get a deal, you don't get your treat.
Where do you go for barbecue in LA, Mr. Gamut?
Okay, when you come to barbecue in LA, there's different barbecue spots all around Inglewood. There's about 3 of them. Now, I'm not going to give you the names. All you got to do is come through. You know what they got here by the forum? They got people with selling either barbecue or they're doing haircuts or they're doing something by the forum. So trust me, there's something going on. When you're talking about going to the forum, you'll see somebody selling some weed or you'll see somebody selling some hair. You'll see something being sold around the forum. There's always something going on when it comes to this city. So we're not too far from the airport. So when people come to this city, you know there's fun stuff to see. That's why I told you about Harry Styles. To see a big ass sign on top of the forum that says Harry Styles, house. That is something crazy to see Harry Styles' house next to Rams' house. So you got the SoFi Stadium Rams' house, and you got Harry Styles' house, the Forum. So they got that already locked up for the next 2 weeks.
It's literally, it's absolutely crazy that he's doing this many sold out shows in a row, and my Instagram feed is nothing but girls going to see this damn show every night. Like it would be worth going just for the eye candy.
And that's what I'm enjoying about it. The eye candy is something else, my man. I'm telling you, just to see the beautiful women coming in from San Francisco, flying in from Arizona, it is amazing to see how many people come in to see this guy.
Crazy.
It is eye candy everywhere.
Yeah. You should take him bass fishing.
Well, of course.
Yeah, we'll just
I'm going to tell you guys, I love doing it. The swim-based stuff, don't worry, guys. Next year, I'll show you some of the stuff I'm throwing.
All right.
Mr. Gamer 2000, you'll see my yak on the gram. I'm going to tell you now. I'm still working on my yak with some twists and stun turns, but I'm one of those guys that's doing electronics. I got an ACS, Lowrance ACS 7 with a 3-in-1 transducer that I'm trying to hook up, but I got 2 100-amp lithium-ion Pro batteries on that thing. So I got a lot of juice, man. It's a juicy kind of kayak. I'm working on this deal, man, but it's fun. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
How about when your kayak's done, we have you on the show and you give us a walkthrough?
Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll definitely do that. That's what I'm working on it now. Some electronics, and we'll do a walkthrough. Because I'm telling you, you got to understand, Jeff and Paul, they both did something that's crazy, Rick. If you ever looked at one of their videos, when you got a 12-foot kayak, it's trouble moving that thing in and out and on top of your car. I got a Nissan car. I got a 4x4 Expedition. Listen that thing up and putting it on top. To see those guys do those kayak carts, oh my freaking God! These guys built a cart, a whole giant wooden cart that you can drag your kayak on. I was like, oh my God! To see both of them do their own different carts to haul the kayak around and has all kind of stuff underneath it. That was just freaking amazing.
I'll tell you right now, that kayak cart was like one of the best, like, cheap investments, highest value investment that you can make. Because like that whole thing was scrap wood. I didn't pay for. I paid for the casters and the PVC, and that was it. I had everything else I needed. So for like $40, you got a place to store it in the winter. That's safe. You got storage underneath for your other boat. You got storage for, like, I got everything from extra baits to life jackets down there. And then when you're loading in and out, it's so much easier. Plus, you got a workbench because I got a bunch of extra. I built it extra big. And you don't have to unload your entire boat to, like, move it around and do anything. Like, when I come home from fishing, it's, like, immediately family time. All I got to do, slide the boat out, slide it in its spot. I don't touch a single thing. I go
Nice.
grab my video card out of my GoPro. I plop it in, do the upload. Takes like 2 minutes, and then your family time. You're doing your stuff, and then at 11 o'clock at night, you can go mess around with all your tackle and throw your trash away and all that. But that cart is a lifesaver. If you have a kayak that weighs more than 120 pounds loaded down, you should. I highly recommend it. If you've got space for one, you should make one.
There you go.
Well, you've already sold me on it, my man. I'm telling you right now, I wish you were in California so you could work on it with me, but I'll be working on this thing for the next 6 months trying to figure out what kind of one I want to design and pull in and out, because my kayaks and storage, I pull it out of a storage, and it's cool to do that. But, you got to lift it up on a 4x4. You talk about a higher-ass 4x4. I'm getting older, man. You can't keep lifting up a high-ass kayak over that damn 4x4 every time you come for fishing. Sometimes you just don't want to do that. So that's when I saw you do that. I said, these freaking boys are amazing when it comes to doing stuff. I'm telling you, these are the MacGyvers when it comes to fishing, guys. If you haven't seen some of their videos, they're not afraid to give stuff a try on the water. Even when they're in running water on a river, they still try stuff. I go, these guys are nuts. I say, well, they're out there freezing their butts off, and they're still trying stuff. That's why I take my hat off to you guys. Burly Fishing, you guys know how to make fishing fun. I appreciate you guys. Take care. Keep doing what you're doing. Amazing.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, dude. This is the most positive 10 minutes I think I've had in like 6 months.
There you go, Mr. Gambit. Oh, he dropped.
Dude,
Huh.
he mic dropped us. He was like
He's
us
like,
with
yeah,
all that
not-
positivity bomb, and he was like, and I'm out. I'm
That's
good.
it.
Mission accomplished. Dude, that
Mr.
was freaking
Gambit.
awesome.
He,
I followed him on Instagram while he was talking to us. This is like the nicest dude I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And I just met him on
He's
the
so
phone. That
nice.
was amazing. That was incredible.
I'd like to be his grandkid. I mean, he's a grandpa.
He is.
Yeah.
So we have DeBurley, the hype man. That's
Yeah.
He's our hype man. But dude, no, I think DeBurley, you got some work to do, Mama. That man is the hype man. That was unreal.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best.
He makes me
All
want
right.
to move to California. That was insane.
And we got one last call. We know who that is.
What's going on?
How are you, man?
Doing pretty good. A little bit chilly because it's like, I don't know, 50-something degrees here in Oklahoma, and I'm used to 90 degrees in Georgia. So a little bit cold up here. But how are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Are you fishing with OWA?
My schedule tomorrow might not open up, so I don't know. It's still up in the air, so hopefully
Too busy
fingers
for
crossed I'll be able to do
OWA.
it, but
Wow.
I know I was very very sad when that happened, but there's still a possibility. So hopefully, fingers crossed that I can get there. So yeah, and Paul, if you just ever need to know anything about swim baits or glide baits or big baits or like big top waters, just give me a DM or I'll hop in a call or do a text or whatever. I will help you guys out with anything bait recommendations or whatever. If you guys want to get into like the higher end stuff like resin baits or wood baits, just give me a call or shoot me a DM. I would be more than happy to help you guys.
I appreciate that. We're at the end of the year, which really sucks. Like it's so like every time we go out, I have to like do the mental calculus. Have you guys ever heard of the 120 rule, where like the water temp and the air temp, when they add them together, if it's below 120, you're kind of in the danger zone. We're so far below that. We're at the 100 rule, where I'm like, if it's getting below 90, I'm like, if I fall out, I could die. And so we're very much like right at the end of the season. Pretty soon here. I mean, it's not going to be in the next 2 weeks, but probably 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to be chipping ice to get out on the water. So I don't know how much more swim bait fishing I will be able to do. I might get one more day of decent, like actual swim bait fishing in. But dude, next season, we're going to hit it hard again. Like the collection's already growing, as you can tell. So I appreciate that very much. We'll be reaching out for sure.
That's awesome. So I think that ice fishing, like the ice kind of deal that you guys have up there up north, that would literally drive me insane. Not being able to fish. I would honestly, I'd probably just die. I mean, there would be no way I'd be able to do ice fishing. I don't like the cold. I don't like that,
That's a good thing you don't live up here, because you kind of get stuck with it. And it is worse when it's cold and you can't fish at all. Ice fishing is a unique beast because like it's its own brand of fun. Like It really is its own brand of fun. And I will never forget, I still have this like really short video that I filmed of, it was a Snapchat that I saved actually, a first pike that I caught on a tip up, and pure elation. I was so, I didn't think about my reaction. I was literally in like a full suit, snowsuit, running around screaming, I did it! I did it! I caught a pike on a tip up! And like, I just repeated that like 13 times, just filming myself totally alone on this lake. And I'll never forget it. Ice fishing, it is its own beast. It's not, there's stuff you got to deal with 100%. And it's not always great, but it can be awesome. And it's better than not being able to fish at all. So we got what we got.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you guys have like a mailing address. Once I get back from my trip, I would like to send you guys some of my like custom resin swim baits for you guys to try out. They're a little bit larger than what you guys are normally throwing, but I think they could still work. So I'm not sure if you guys still have a mailing address or whatever.
DM me and we'll get it set up.
Do you have anything heavier?
I think these are just
above 7 ounces.
We just got two swim bait rods from Akuman. I think they go to 8. I don't know if they go to 8 or 10. I can't remember. We got 2 of the bigs.
Oh,
I haven't even strung that one up yet, to be honest with you.
Well, hopefully you guys will be able to catch some fish on them. So here's my question for you, Paul. You get 3 baits for the rest of your life to use. What are you choosing?
3? Well, one of them for sure is going to be, and this is no BS. I almost like, we hesitated to like start working with this company because I didn't want to throw it off, but this is no BS. That the reason, this is the only bait company that we've made like a deal with, and it's because this is my favorite bait to fish, and that is on an ultralight. That is the mule fishing donkey tail. It is, with that singular bait, I can catch any fish that swims. Tiny fish are fun to catch, and I've caught gigantic fish on it. And yeah, if I only had to pick one, that would be the one. So that's for sure on the list.
Yeah,
this is a really good question. Number two, any bait.
I really wanted to make a big like 8-inch donkey tail. That would be awesome.
I know. It would be so sick.
I want like a big giant one.
I know. That would be,
honestly,
I think it would be. Do you have, like, that would be probably one of the few baits that started off as a bluegill bait that could turn into a musky bait.
For sure. And since it's made of that stretchable, like, elastomer style material, you probably need to do like a harness on the inside for your rig, but that shouldn't be too hard at all.
But even if you had like even if you had like a 5/0 swim bait, like belly weighted swim bait hook, you could run that, no problem.
Yeah, you can just use a paper clip on the front, and that way you don't have to screw it on there, because that's always a pain. So
it'd be impossible. Yeah, it'd be impossible. It'd be such a that'd be so sick. But yeah, that would for sure be one. Another the second one, because that bait is a great drop shot bait. I will not have a drop shot bait. I would have to have some sort of I would have to have, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna say a jig with some kind of like, dude, the baby D-bomb that Rick hooked us up with when we hooked up with Missy Baits. Honestly, that would be one of them, because there's not like, I think jig fit, like setting the hook on a jig, is so much fun. I would be remiss if I wasn't able to like have that again. Plus, with the right jig, if one of the companies that we work with, they make a jig. It's called Super K Jigs, and they make this jig. It's a nice hybrid jig. You can run it however you want. It's got like a really stout hook with a screw lock, so you can put anything on it. You can run it like a swim bait or like a swim jig, and you can also run it like at the bottom of the river. It's a wonderful, wonderful jig. It would be that jig, and it would be that plastic to go.
I think I have some of those in your colors. I think you guys did like a limited edition color, didn't you?
That jig has caught me more. The one you're talking about has caught me more fish. It is such, dude, that is such a good bait. I love that jig, because it's weirdly small, but you could tow a truck with that hook. And then the last one, it's got to be a moving bait. Some kind. This sounds so lame. This is gonna be like the lamest answer. I'm probably gonna get shit for this. I would say a spinner bait. I would probably. Well, no, because I don't have top water. Oh my god. Should I say a buzzbait? I'll say a frog. It's
That's
got
where
to
it
be a
gets you.
frog. You got to have a frog. Yeah, I'm gonna say frog because if you can't have top water, like, what's the point? I'll say frog. Like a
Oh, yeah,
like a
totally.
like a walk like a.
I mean, you can fish
walking
a spinnerbait
frog.
top water too.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
There's no, you
I
park
think
that
that's a
frog
pretty
up
good
there.
setup though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. So yeah, I'm gonna go
Very
ultralight jig. I'm gonna go straight up like a hybrid jig, and then I will go frog. Dude, and there's some good answers. I'm seeing them in chat.
Okay.
Like whopper plopper is a freaking awesome answer. Dude, yeah, there's some good answers out there. But I'm sticking with my 3. I'm sticking with, what would be yours? What would be your 3?
I'm surprised you didn't get a Ned rig.
But
Very
if
surprised.
I've got the jig, I still can get my like Ned rig fix. But like I don't want to give up jigging. Like I don't want to give up the jig. I can't do that. I can't give up the jig. What would be your 3?
I think it's a pretty good setup though. You got everything.
I got it covered.
Specific baits, I'm just gonna go generic.
Yeah. What
glide
types?
bait.
Like what type?
Some sort of paddle tail.
Okay.
So I like the shorter gliding ones, so the ones that have a lot of movement in the tail, so it allows you to work them really tight. But the bull shad one, the one that Mike Buka makes, screws that you can screw in or screw out to actually change the actual gliding action of the bait. So you can make it do wide glides if you want to work it in like more open water situations or deep water. And then it has the screws that you can screw in, outward, and then you can screw those out, and then it'll do more cover glide, is what Tactical Basking calls it. So that way you can work it kind of close to cover. But I think that would probably be number 1 bait, and then I'd have to
What
go frog.
size? That one comes in 2
you can
sizes,
not have
right?
a frog. The wide bait?
The Buka? Does that come? Is it 2 sizes? There's like a mini and then a regular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going with the regular. You like the big.
Yeah,
ones.
so the 9-inch. Yeah, the 9-inch bull.
Big.
That would be definitely the one to go with.
Yeah.
Definitely one of their custom colors too. Like, yeah, definitely that. But and then I have to go like a frog, like a 65 or a 75 size frog. That's got to be a go-to. I mean, you can't not have a frog in there. And then I'd probably have to go with some sort of paddle tail, whether it be like a little 4-inch one or like a 10-inch Hud. It's got to be a paddle tail. You know, you got to have something that has a little bit of action that you can go slow.
I totally agree. Something about like the bait that I like sort of grew up on in the river was made by a company that still exists, and they make a ton of different versions of the same like 2 paddle tails. Walleye Assassin. They don't make this color anymore, but it was all chartreuse, and then it had a white belly, and it had black pepper in it. And I have caught, and I just would use like Eagle Claw 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce ball head jigs. I had hundreds of them, and that was like, I knew I could catch any fish swimming with it, and it was a great river. It was a great river setup, and like it was either that or an inline spinner, and I felt like I always had an option with that as a trailer, whether it was a jig, whether it was a drop shot, whether it was a spinner bait, whether like or just a jig. Like it didn't matter what it was. Like I was ready to go. So I would have to agree. Like that mid-size paddle tail, dude, you really can't go wrong. And it's so good year round. Like it's really, really good in the spring and the fall.
Yeah.
And it's solid even during the, when it's super hot.
Yeah, it's definitely a great bait. I mean, a paddle. I think if you're getting a beginner into fishing, I think a paddle tail is awesome because they want to be doing something with their hands. So you can reel it fast, you can reel it slow, you can drag it along the bottom. There's not really a wrong way to fish a paddle tail. You can't move it too fast. You can't move it too slow. Or
and it doesn't get hung up like a crank. It doesn't get hung up like a crankbait either. So
for sure,
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree.
It's awesome.
Good call. I like that setup. Not bad. I like mine better. I won't lie.
Yeah,
but I like yours too.
Did they discontinue that bait in that color? And do you still have it?
I still have 2 bags of it. I still have 2 bags of it, and I do think they discontinue that color. But they have like so many. There's a couple that are like very close. Like I think the one they make now, it's not just black pepper. They have like silver in it too. So there's like 2 different speckles in it. But they still make the chartreuse with the white belly and like the black pepper mixed in. But yeah, they don't make that specific one anymore. But I still have 2 bags of that because I probably at one point had 5 or 6 bags of that bait.
Wow.
Well, I mean, if you want, you can send me 1 or 2 of those like paddle tails, and I'll make you a mold, and then send it back, and then you guys can pour your own ones in that color if you want.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
dude! This is
want,
why I love this. Honestly, this is what's happening right now. Is like one of my like favorite things that we've discovered since we like changed the format of the podcast. Because like as we sort of like dabbled, like one of the first like techniques that I dabbled with that I hadn't was like the free rig, and I had people that are like, "You idiot! I've been free rigging for like 5 years, and here's how you do this and that and this and that and this and that." And I was like, "What?" And like the amount of expertise that was like just waiting to like sort of be like tapped into was silly, and it still is. Like you know, you're helping us out with these big swim baits, and obviously offering to freaking make me a mold. Like never in my wildest dreams, as like just somebody who was like out casually fishing, did I think that I would be having a conversation like this. This is awesome. So cool.
Well, if you need it made, just hit me up. I can make pretty much any soft bait you want or hard bait, or most baits anyway. So if you need a mold made, hit me up.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you, sir.
Yep, no problem. So
You're a good dude, Brendan.
yeah, that's all I've got here for you tonight. So thank you.
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate it very much. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
All right, see you, Rick.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd your mom make for dinner?
So we didn't make dinner because we're out at the moment, but
that's right.
we went to this place called the Rib Crib. Super, super good food. It's like a hole in the wall kind of place. Those are always the best places to eat. So we just had like a barbecue sandwich. It was like pulled pork. And then we had like baked beans on the side and then like a coleslaw kind of deal. It was pretty good. Not going to lie.
Good stuff. All right, bro. Enjoy Oklahoma.
All right. Thank you, guys, and have a good one.
All right, man. Later. All right. Oof.
How sick is that?
That kid. Yeah.
I know. So nice. Like he's always chiming in, and he's always got like the best tips. Like I'll ask a question on like a reel, and he'll be like, "No, I got you." And you're like, oh my god, so awesome.
I'm gonna do a show and have him as the guest, and
you have to.
just talk about stuff. I mean, he drops knowledge. I mean, I even had Daniel from Z-Man, and he's like, Brendan was on. He's like, "Oh, you should make a bait this way." And afterwards, Daniel's like, "I never thought about that. That's really an interesting idea." And I'm like, "You wanna think about this?" He's not even 20 years old, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's crazy."
So
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's a good kid. I love him.
Yep.
All right, man. Listen, we went longer than I expected, but I want to thank you for taking time to be on the show and just talk about whatever shows comes up and whatever these guys all want to talk about. I think that's what's kind of cool, and I appreciate the support you give the brand, and look forward to seeing you guys again.
Oh, hell yeah. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me specifically. I don't know about Jeff. I'm going to speak for him. Yeah. He was here, I promise. No, we really appreciate it. And as we love the Monster Bass, we love the Monster Bass family. And, we'll get on here every night if we have to. We love it. Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll definitely, I will schedule a meeting with the rod designer, and we'll start this thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's an opportunity. It's a good one.
All right. I'm down. So
I love it.
All right, man. Go have family time.
Done deal. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. All right. Well, guys, that was a pretty good show. And I'm going to call a few more tickets really quickly. Everyone's all worked up. Don't worry. Wait. Oh, here we go. Hold on. 1, 2. I'm going to call them all right here. Here they are. These are all the golden tickets. I'm sure there's one more. Boom. There's 6 of them for you. Here they are. If I call your number, email me at marketing@monsterbass.com. Army Outdoors 88N. I saw that you DM'd me. Did you DM me personally? Don't do it to Monster Bass because somebody else checks that inbox because it gets hundreds of DMs a day. Just look for me. Just look for Rick Patry on Instagram. You'll find me. And I'll make sure you get that bag. So there you have it. Great show. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. People keep asking about the backpack. I have not made the backpack yet because I kind of want to see the bags that I did design, because I've never worked with this designer. They came really highly recommended, and I want to see the finished product before I make a backpack with them. So I'm still working on that, and then we'll go from there. But I am going to get together with Paul and Jeff, and I'm going to make this rod. You know, I don't know what the economics are of making a rod at that price point. But yeah, let's find out. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can make it work. So I was going to show you guys the frogs that I'm making, but again, I think we're going to do a whole episode on frogs and just talk about them. Let's find out what you guys like. Does that sound like a good idea? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you think it's a good idea. We'll just have a show all about one thing, and we'll get everyone's feedback. Everyone can tune in, chime in. I got great shows lined up. We got, we got a bunch of people. I got 2 pros coming on for you guys. And it is, let me look it up here. Monster Bash Live. Yeah, we got Gramps on next week. And the following week, we got Luke Palmer. And that's the last show for November, because I just booked a trip. Taking my kid, and he and I are going to Japan for Thanksgiving. But then we're going to come back, and we're going to have Mike McClellan, and then a few other people. So I think it'll be pretty good. Ruler decals, we do. I'm going to make some new ones. And what else we got? AJ Gore sighting. Wow. I haven't seen him in a long time. I love that guy. Anyways, all right, guys, I got to get out of here because my dog clearly has to go to the bathroom because he's, like, annoying me. He's not annoying me. He just wants to go. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. We had a great show today, and I will see you guys all next week with Gramps, and I'm sure it'll be a great show. Thank you to all of our servicemen and women around the world and our veterans. I appreciate and love the fact that what you did for us and what you still continue to do. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.